What was the Fender Custom Shop up to for NAMM 2025? Crazy things. Welcome back, Troglodytes, to your daily dose of guitar information, the Trogly's Guitar Show. We're going to kick things off with this very unique Telecaster. So first, you might notice the crazy design we've got going on here. It's titled the Prestige Custom Telecaster, and it's priced at about $12,500 US. It's an Austin McNutt creation that utilizes an interesting Feldhaus Family Workshops top. Doing some research about Feldhaus, usually they're like 3D patterns created with multiple pieces of wood, something gorgeous like that. Or you've got Qbert over here, or perhaps more accurate Qbert, as well as like a basket weave design in multiple different variations, as well as other fun optical illusions. The design we have over here, I would fully excuse you and myself for thinking that this was just some fancy paintwork. No, these are wooden blocks that just happen to line up perfectly. He used a material called G-Carta, Wenge, and maple. I certainly have a new appreciation for this one, because when I was thinking this was paint, wasn't that impressed, but now that I know it's wood, alright. But as far as the back, it looks like he ended up using some sort of a copper color, and then look at that neck. Super ultra flamed. They sent that one down to Thunder Road Guitars. Not sure if it's available or sold, but he also has a matching wooden pickup ring for the mini humbucker. That's right, you heard me right, mini humbucker on this Telecaster. And features a Josefina hand-wound 55-56 Telecaster bridge pickup. But if that one wasn't your style, we have this interesting one. It takes the two vintage paisley colors, blue and pink, and blends it together. We've got this lavender border, but then you've got some blue streaking in here, a little bit over here. You can see your paisley print very clearly there. It reminds me of like a lava lamp. And then to build upon that, it looks like they cut up little paisley strips and put them at the bottom side of the inlay so they show through. That's fun. Our description from this one says, Prestige Paisley Telecaster 12? Yeah, sure enough. In case you missed it, that's a 12 string. I was all excited to talk about the split pickup in the neck. I didn't even notice we had the doubles. But that one's also just shy of $11,500 and is a Dennis Galuska creation. That's another Josefina hand-wound 67 Tele bridge. And once again, Kurt is coming back for the electric 12-string neck pickup. This one got shipped off to Eddie's Guitars and is already sold, but they uploaded some new photos. Look, it's a swirl design. So a little bit of pink, a little bit of blue, then you get that blindingly natural neck. And then look at that, you get the reverse hockey stick headstock straight up in blue just to match the whole crazy multicolor theme of this one. That headstock was a stroke of genius. Those colors, perfect. That went from a, okay, to really cool with that and the back. Next, we've got some sort of an offset with 3 mini humbuckers, unbound fretboard with big pearl block inlays. Pay extra special attention to how thick those strings are. I think we've got some sort of a baritone monster here. It's officially known as the Subsonic Jazzmaster for just a little short of $13,000. This one is a brainchild of Andy Hicks. And sure enough, it features a 27-inch scale length, so it is a baritone. But I was really curious what kind of wood they used. Black Limba, so we're talking a Carina body here. But then it's got a roasted maple neck. This thing looks like a lot of fun to me. It's an interesting blending of a whole bunch of different models. Visiting the builder's Instagram page, I found the headstock shot kind of funny. It's a regular Fender Jazzmaster one, but everything else was blacked out outside of the Fender logo, so you just have obnoxiously long decals. It's a Fender thing. But our next Jazzmaster-like shape here is a bound top Meteora. A lot of times when they mess with the original Meteora design, I'm not a big fan of it, because I like that it's a weird, ugly, misshapen Telecaster. But this one makes me think the Meteora has been around at least since the 80s, and this one just happens to have that really nice, period-correct cherry sunburst to it, but that's an ultra-wide quilt to that thing. And the fact that they chose to do the black-white-black multi-layered binding really sells that thing. I'm not much of a Floyd Rose player, but hey, that definitely belongs on that guitar. And then we've got dual humbuckers and black-style knobs. It's officially known as the Prestige Carved Top Meteora for about $13,500 US. This one comes from the workbench of Kyle McMillan. But he spec'd it out with a mahogany body to join onto that maple top, which is advertised as 5A quilt maple, with a 3A flame maple neck and a slab ebony fretboard. But the other thing that makes this one so unique is the fact that the top is also carved. You don't normally get that on a Meteora. But this next one absolutely shocked me. Look at this thing! We've never seen anything like this from Just kidding, we have, from the mid-80s. We documented a cool green one in this episode. It's the time when the Strat went metal. They're certainly not for everyone. They're a really weird shape, and they had very unique pickups and trem systems to them, but they were a part of Fender's history. And maybe the custom shop has made these before and I've missed them, but that was certainly a blast from the past. And look, they even recreated the pickups almost perfectly. Like, sure, it's a different coloration, but they took the time to do it right. That thing's so fresh they didn't even have to give it a fancy title, just Prestige Performer, listed for $11,350 US. If you like that this came back, go give Levi Perry some love on Instagram. But now it's time to jump into the Stratocaster world. First, we've got some sort of a crazy beach ball. You know what? Maybe it's a parasol. I'm not sure. Because at first glance, you just see the blue and white. But then second glance, you go, hey, what are these little like diamond things at every intersection? But not every intersection. As you continue to follow them, this one just has it right there. As far as pickups, looks like we're rocking lace sensors. We have some sort of an orange and or copper color showing here, so that might just be shielding. But look at your neck. That was hand-stained blue, then more of an orange color there. And hey, those little continue on our fretboard. Contura Stratocaster for $50,000. So this is Yuri Shishkov. That makes a whole lot of sense. That is 100,000% Yuri's work. I feel bad not noticing it before. And I did find additional photos of it. So you get the white in the board right there. Then you get the matching red tuner tips. I'm glad Yuri's still doing it because I remember there were talks of him retiring, but it looks like this one went to Huber Breeze. But that's the thing about Fender this year. Invitation only. You had to be a dealer, have official business. That's the way Gibson did NAMM this year too. But the other thing I was missing is this is lacing that they put in between everything. But one of my favorites is this koi Stratocaster. Now, if you really look at that koi fish, it does look a little bit funny, but to be fair, I don't know the exact species. Maybe they do just look a little funny. But I really love that royal blue with the pink in the flowers. Koi fish have always been cool in my eyes, but it's an HSS pickup setup. You got your anodized pick guard. Is this light reflecting right here, or do we have like a pinstriped binding effect? Because if so, that white line looks fantastic. But there's definitely some areas where it's like, well, maybe it is just the light reflecting. But then other ones down here, it's like, no, that has to be there, has to be there. But that was presented as the Prestige Koi Stratocaster for obvious reasons, $22,000 price tag. But not a big surprise, it was a top dog doing that one, Paul Waller. But in collaboration with graphic artist Mike Eshelman, selected it with an alder body, a 5A bird's eye maple neck, flat laminated ebony fretboard. But if artsy-fartsy's not your style and just exotic finish and woods are, the longer you look at this one, the more you can appreciate it. So A, it's got this shiny golden reflective pickup covers and the whole entire pick guard. That's going to be a fingerprint magnet. Do not touch this thing. But then you've got this really interesting dark blue burst into a light blue finish. And then it's like you're looking through the water, looking at sand or something due to that unique wood grain. This one was titled the Prestige Elite Stratocaster, available at $11,650. The influence of this one was the Caribbean Ocean, as well as the glitter of its golden sands rising from the ocean floor. If you jive with that, you might enjoy other Jason Smith creations. But apparently this body is covered in variegated gold leafing, which is a unique design that gives a pattern on the body underneath that cool finish. So that's not wood grain. I thought it was some exotic cheese wood or something. But no, gold leafing. Next up, we've got a very interesting spalted maple Stratocaster listing at $12,275, done up by David Brown. The inspiration came from visual cues of magma flowing over volcanic rock, but he utilized some gold leaf and the earth tone colors, and put this maple top over an ash body and utilized a 4A flamed roasted maple neck. And hey, that's Brazilian rosewood. There's no way that's Brazilian rosewood, but everything else matches. Here's the problem. There's 10 guitars on the IG page. There's 8 in the Fender PR folder. This doesn't look like spalted maple to me, but it matches having a maple top, likely Brazilian rosewood fretboard. But I'd be surprised if that's not the right one, and then maybe something got mishandled over here. Sweetwater actually got this one, and they labeled it as a Bosnian figured maple neck. So I don't even think we have a fretboard on this thing, and it surely isn't roasted with that coloring. And it's an HSS setup. That's just such great colors, and the maple fretboard works really well. But now we have an interesting reverse burst. This reminds me of some of the 90s custom colors out there, where we have this rainbowing effect from orange all the way up until pink, and then the center is just black. This could very easily become a production level guitar. that you could find on a Made in Mexico Squire for like $800. But this one is the Candy Burst Stratocaster for $11,000 and comes from the workbench of Dale Wilson, saying that he drew the inspiration from music's vibrant and expressive nature, aiming to capture the essence of creativity through color and form. Well, this one has a Brazilian rosewood fretboard, quadruple A flame maple neck. Now I'm seeing the full body shot. I would have loved to have seen that continued onto the headstock. That would have been really sweet. But hopefully we do see some cheaper import versions of this, because not everybody can afford the super ultra master built great stuff with Brazilian rosewood. So that is all the guitars. It was a fun showing of non-traditional Fender. But out of all of these, which one is my favorite? That one's pretty cool. That one's cool too. That's great in an artsy-fartsy kind of way. This is cool in a historic way, not something I'd probably buy. This is neat in taking something relatively new and building upon it. This is fun to look at, but I don't necessarily need a 12-string in my life that crazy. This just looks highly playable. And this is fancy. I think I gotta give it to this one. That was until I saw the back of the blue one, because please remember, I started this episode just on that press kit that I found, and was really sad that I only had one photo to work with on all these, but doing a whole bunch of digging online, I found all these other ones, so you don't have to. If you appreciate my hard work here, please leave me a like. It helps out more than you know. But compiling photos online is one thing. Make sure you give love to the Instagram pages of these individual builders. They all pretty much post very interesting things. They're the true artisans here. But alright, troglodytes, I hope you enjoyed. Take care.